To establish a company and to do it well, the first thing you need to do is to make a good product.
What's up? I just got back from the movies. I was going to watch like 3 or 4, but I decided to cut it short at about 2 for multiple reasons. One, I think that I was starting to get near that point where it's like facts and scenes will be unique and like different. Like I'll remember what movie did what happened in what movie, but I was getting to that point where I felt like my feelings towards movies and like the overall emotions would kind of start to blur and stuff a little bit and kind of overlap. So I just didn't want to push it. I might do another review here after I've recorded these, but I just want to get these out of my brain and, to you all so that it's as fresh and accurate as possible. So that's one reason I came back. Another reason is I couldn't get the seats I would have wanted to one movie. I was going to go see Knives Out, and the seats were all just kind of okay, I take that back. I was originally going to go see Harriet, and then Knives Out after, but Harriet was already starting because I had already, basically Ford versus Ferrari or Ford v Ferrari, whatever, got out a little late because they tend to start movies later than they really display on the app and trailers and all that stuff. So anyway, basically what I'm saying is it was it was just too late. It was like 6:45 or 6:46 or 6:50, somewhere around there, and the app wasn't loading fast enough to be able to get tickets for that. So instead, what I ended up doing is I basically just decided to go home, because if I wasn't going to be able to see Harriet in time and Knives Out didn't have the seats I would have preferred to sit in, it's like I would rather have the best possible experience going into a movie so that I can have the best possible unbiased opinion of it. Today I saw Jojo Rabbit and Ford v Ferrari. I'll do the Jojo Rabbit review after this one, just because I didn't take notes or anything for Ford v Ferrari, because I figured it was, freshest. I had literally just left the theater, so it's kind of on top of my mind. Plus I got the trailer running in the background to kind of be able to see things again, just to kind of gather memories of certain events and stuff like that. Right off the bat, I think it was a phenomenal movie. I'll start out with the the overall impressions or whatever that I usually do kind of towards the end at the beginning this time. I thought it was probably around a 9, maybe higher out of 10. Just because you get this pure, like tonally, it's very bright and light or whatever. It's like it's a very sunny movie, I guess is how you could look at it. Yellow hued or whatever, or I guess it's like red versus blue on the temperature or whatever. And so it's leaning more red, yellow hues and stuff like that. So it's a bright movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it leaves you with a pretty good feeling the whole way through, just tonally. Obviously, I love the story there of finally beating Ferrari at Le Mans. After years and years and years of Ferrari being the top dog or whatever, it's just a story that, I've been hearing since episodes of like Top Gear 2002 or 3. I don't remember when they did the Ferrari GT, like the remake or whatever. But it was, something I looked forward to when I heard it was coming out because of that. It was really interesting to see the argument breakdown and stuff like that from the contract side all the way through to the race side between Ford and Ferrari and Carroll Shelby and Ferrari and stuff like that. From just like it's hard to describe, from a perspective of history where I just didn't really know the detail and depth of how far it went, to just the funnier things that they could do in the movie. I don't know if a lot, like, if everything that happened in the movie happened in real life, but if it did, that's kind of awesome. And funny and interesting, because it makes it seem like well, yes, we did beat them in the race. It's almost like we swindled the victory away in some ways, at times, in very small ways. Just did minor things to kind of annoy Ferrari's team or whatever, and it was just kind of funny to see that and different. It wasn't really what I expected. I expected a very serious movie, and I got some humor here and there. Humorous moments, I should say, here and there. I think that the casting was absolutely fantastic. I think that Christian Bale as Ken Miles and sorry, my brain just lapsed for a second there. John Bernthal as the secondary marketing guy, I guess you would say, at Ford or whatever. The guy that basically brings Carroll Shelby in, along with Matt Damon, obviously, as Carroll Shelby. I thought the three of them worked really, really well together. Obviously, John Bernthal and Christian Bale didn't have too much interaction, but just the interaction between the three characters overall was just really, really compelling and really exciting to watch. The three actors have a very good on-screen chemistry, I would say. And that's just something you can't really, you can't fake. So it was nice to see these actors really working together and playing off of each other as very businessy but also friendly at times and stuff, and it was just kind of cool. Obviously the cars part is exciting to me, as I wouldn't say I'm a big car guy. It's not like I go out and fix cars for fun or anything, but I just always love car history and stuff like that. I've always had favorites. The Ford GT was the remake of it. Obviously the GT40 was way before my time, but the remake car was one of my favorite cars growing up. Just visually and performance-wise, it just seemed very impressive and really cool. The movie was fantastic for casting, for the car experience. You get the adrenaline rush during the races. It's just really intense at times. The big thing that everybody has been talking about going into it has been the overall like the audio and cinematography side of it. Obviously the audio is top notch. You have to get the right sounds for some of these cars, and then the cinematography was really, really, really well done. Obviously the driving parts where it's kind of flowing, like you can see through the windshields and stuff and see kind of the flow of the cars and stuff. That part's impressive, but there were plenty of times where there were like really subtle details that I just really latched onto and appreciated. There was a moment where Christian Bale was driving as Ken Miles, like I said, during the race, I think, or during a race, I should say. I guess it was probably, I want to say it was when he was racing Daytona. And you could see like the cars reflecting in his sunglasses, and that was really cool. But I think my favorite was probably around the time that he was like working on the Ferrari, or not the Ferraris, the GT40s, as the rest of the team were at Le Mans the first year or whatever. And he's obviously really upset because he's not there. I mean, that's not really necessarily a spoiler because it's a historical movie, so I guess you should know most of the things going in. But anyway, my main point is he's working on the cars or whatever, and there's like a plane landing because Carroll Shelby's warehouse was like a hangar, basically. Or plane landing or preparing to take off or something like that. But you just like see, because of its lights blasting into the hangar bay, you can see like shadows of cars passing, and he's like listening to a race on the radio. So it's like as the cars are passing visually through shadows, they're also passing in the race as the stuff he's predicting comes true with the cars and stuff like that. So it's really unique and neat to see how they're able to kind of do subtle things like that to really capture feelings and moods. Like I said, it's a very warm movie, I feel like, as far as the tone. That doesn't really ever leave throughout. Like like it's a very dramatic movie, but I still left feeling very happy, even though things didn't always go the characters' ways and stuff. Um, just because it's so bright and the characters have such a charisma to them throughout that it's just very interesting to watch. You never really want to, you know, look away or not hear anything. Granted, I mean, I hardly ever want to look away at movies because I'm always looking for the good, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just something where you're always engaged and fully immersed, I guess, in a way. So, again, I think that movie was fantastic. It definitely deserves the praise it's getting, and I think that it's a solid 9 or so out of 10. Things that could have been better, I guess. I don't know. I guess I felt like the ending was kind of weird. Like the very ending was just kind of weird, but it wasn't bad. Just felt like there could have been more there. Maybe. I mean, not from the idea of what you know in the trailers. Like, it's not anything that I feel like there should be more of based off of what we saw there. I'm just saying I think it feels a little melancholically. I mean, it should be in some ways, but there's like certain aspects where I feel like they could have filled out the gaps of what happens kind of after everything goes down, just a little bit more solidly, a little better and more focused, other than just, you know, the stereotypical cliche, like right off where the characters like have their so-and-so did this and so-and-so did this and all that stuff, kind of like in The Sandlot or something like that. But it was a very good movie, and it reminded me so much of Top Gear. Like, throughout the movie, I was thinking, man, these guys are like the original Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond, and not James May so much. He drives slow, but for them, their standards. But like the main two of the original, you know, remake series or reboot series or whatever, back in like 2002, that first season or a few episodes. I can't remember how long it was before James showed up. But anyway, so yeah, definitely worth your time. I would recommend going to see it. And I'll be on to the next review, which is Jojo Rabbit, here shortly. See you next time. Bye.